let's get, okay, there it is. All right, let's take it live. Live. Who the hell knows who's here? One or two people. One or two people here for the live service. Did you get that executive producer into the show notes?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. I hadn't read through your show notes to see what you got. Good.
Yep, I made sure.
All right, well, let's, without much further ado, since we're already late, let's get going.
These are the days of thunder.
Wrong one. Other show.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In the search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devils at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devils at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the jigger just seen who done the crime. Captain pulled the trigger, guess who's doing time? They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, is he yours or is he mine? Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. In our search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. We're missing down Highway 49. Devils at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devils at a crossroads, jokers doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Yeah, all right. It is showtime. So without much further ado, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
And we have everything perfectly in working order as I've managed to hide my notes. Let's try that one more time because I had everything all out there, and I clicked a button and hid the notes.
Good job.
Yeah, well, all right. Let's start that all over again. Take 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
Getting balance with WordPress plugins. It's episode 551, and we have plugins for Panorama Viewer, Daily Verse, Cubecolour plugins, CodeArt Converter, ToolTips, and ClassicPress options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oops,
it is
wrong
time
one.
for WordPress.
WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gems? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the oasis deep in the heart of the Cowichan Valley, I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber overall.
And we have the usual great show for you today. Don't forget, of course, this is a value for value show, and we look forward to everyone providing some value back. Before we get too far down the road, don't forget, stick around after the show where we have the Q&A segment with Amber. Most of it is in the podcast itself, but the really good stuff is cut off and stored only in the YouTube version of this show. So if you want to hear the good stuff, got to go check out the YouTube version. If you've already listened to the show on the podcast, just slide all the way to the end and listen to it there. Catch all that great stuff. With all of that, it's just simply time for me to...
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm coming through all right.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Okay, good.
I'll let you know.
So this is number 12 of 52 episodes for 2022. Now, I don't know about everyone else out there, but I kind of feel like the AI is starting to play some really mean tricks on all of us. Like today I woke up and my computer was having issues. Fun times. But hopefully everyone is out there still remembering to slow down a little bit and the rushing around that we're all dealing with right now and taking the time to stop and smell the roses. Maybe not actually since they're not blooming, but the whole meaning of it, slow down, take time to appreciate all the small things in life. Because it's the small things that really makes life worth living. Rinse and repeat as often as needed.
Absolutely. But, the flowers are blooming down there in Victoria, so...
But not roses, not yet.
No, well, the roses take a little longer than all the tree flowers. All right, well, at any rate, it's just jump right into the news.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John Overall.
No, with Amber.
I need you to share the screen, by the way. You forgot to share that.
Yeah, okay.
The first one I have up is WordPress vulnerability report for March 9th, 2022. There is quite a few plugin vulnerabilities. Here are the ones...
And you're breaking up again.
I am?
Yep.
Should I try calling back or...
Yep, I don't know. All of a sudden you're breaking up. Try messing with your microphone again. See if that's the problem.
All right, is that better?
That sounds better now.
Okay. So...
Back to WordPress vulnerability report.
Yep, just gearing my brain back towards it. The ones I have listed here are the ones with the most severe vulnerabilities. So these are the ones that you'll want to probably possibly delete. They are PS link card, WP block and stop bad bots, OS mapper, multi-list subscribe for Sendy, and Narnu distributor. Narnu is just a cool name though. The rest in the list of the vulnerability ones, they're falling under medium and low vulnerability score.
Yeah.
So you might want to make sure you check, deactivate, and or remove any plugins that are most worrisome and keep an eye out.
Yeah, and you're still breaking up again. Why the hell is it doing that? And it's definitely not me. It's definitely not this end. It's coming from yours.
I've tried messing with this, or tried looking for something to mess with in the settings, and I can't find anything that looks out of whack. Got any suggestions?
No, I got no suggestions.
Hey, I finally stumped you.
No, yeah, well, that's yeah. Well, you're asking somebody who can't look at the computer. I can't look at the computer that's having a problem. Computers have problems.
Oh, come on, let me have the win.
No, it's not a win, man. All right, let's try the next one. It sounds like you're clear again.
Okay. Nearly 30% of critical WordPress plugin bugs have not gotten a patch. So this is a white paper released by PatchStack about the state of WordPress security in 2021. There has been a growth of 150% in the reported vulnerabilities compared to the previous year, while 29% of the critical flaws in WordPress plugins have never received a security update. So most of the flaws were found in the free plugins, but this doesn't mean you should stop using free plugins. Just remember to keep an eye on your plugins, keep them updated, treat them like you treat the walls of your house. If you notice that there's a crack in your wall on the outside, you don't just leave it, you fix it. And plugins are kind of like the walls. They keep your site going in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. That they do. That's all I
Next
got.
one up is WP Experts acquires Password Protect plugin. So they have some plans on how to change this. I'm not sure if the users out there are going to appreciate it. There have been a lot of requests for one of the things they're planning on doing, which is the ability to add your own logo. But the new owners, which is WP Experts, they're planning on making it more developer friendly by adding more actions and filter hooks, and adding more support for users apart from just the admin. So could be great, might go wrong. Hopefully it works out to the better though.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Next up is WordPress.com announces marketplace vision, plans to partner with developers in the WordPress ecosystem. So essentially what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to bring more premium plugins, themes, and services to users. This could be good, could also be bad. Automatic is the company behind this, and they're going to be partnering with third-party developers to bring these commercial offerings to everyone. Not sure how it'll go. What do you think?
They're trying to compete with Envato.
Ah.
That's what I see immediately. I see that they didn't do that in the get-go, and they're seeing how much money Envato has made, and they're trying to bring in their own marketplace, and that way they can collect all the money instead of Envato collecting all the money they collect. That's what I see with it.
Makes
anyway.
sense.
You know, how it will perform in the end is hard to say. You know, maybe there'll be better plugins, maybe they'll be worse, maybe the people from Envato will move there. It depends on how much money they pay the developers of the plugins. I hear Envato doesn't give a real good share of the funds.
Next up is Gutenberg 12.7 is adding multi-block selection in list view and is bringing margin support for group blocks.
Yay, Gutenberg.
Hey, you know what? For Gutenberg users, this could actually be very exciting.
Yeah, I know. I'm just busy wrapping my head around that particular product now after 2 years of trying to avoid it.
Yeah, me too. So this new release is not as feature heavy as the last, but it has some pretty nice enhancements. It'll have a new style engine. This should improve saving and rendering block styles.
Mm-hmm.
Template and site editors should be able to add surface patterns over blocks in the inserter, though only under certain conditions at root level of templates. So you'll want to look into that a little deeper. And the columns block should support the border width, style, and color radius options available to the fullest extent. So hopefully it'll work out better.
Yeah, hopefully.
And last for this is CISA updates Conti ransomware alert with nearly 100 domain names. So I wanted to bring this forth because I know that a lot of us out there, we will get an email with someone who wants to add content, they want to donate something, they want us to check out their website. Make sure that when you do that, you pay attention to the domain name. They have a list of 100 worst ones here. Most of them, just by looking at it, sets off my little radar of don't do it. But if it doesn't set off your radar when you first look at it, double check.
Yeah, well, can't say I've seen any of them domains and emails, but it's hard to say. Usually, though, those scammer emails try to trick you with a regular email of some sort that seems innocuous.
Yeah, it's just these are domain names. I wanted to bring it forth.
Yeah, that's a useful bit of information. Alrighty. Well,
And in the extras, we have things like 10 massive red flags in developer job interviews, beginner's toolbox for fighting internet censorship, SEC wants public companies to report breaches within 4 days, could be good or bad.
Yeah.
And critical bugs could let attackers remotely hack, damage APC smart app devices, or smart apps devices. So
cool. All right. Well, that's one.
Hembian said, come over to the Gutenberg side. We have cookies.
Yes. They better be tasty cookies, since I'm slowly making my way to the dark side of the earth. All right. Let's go talk about the people who support this show with their time, talent, and treasure.
It's time to donate to WP Plugins A to Z.
Yes, this is where we like to talk to everyone about those that have supported the show with their time, talent, or treasure. And in particular, we like to start talking about those who have supported the show with their talent. And this week here, hey, we got some new art to choose from. Cool. All right. That must have just come in after last night. At any rate, today's artwork comes to us from Greg's Graphics, and of course it goes with the title of the show, bringing some balance. It's a nice photograph of some balancing rocks. Very well focused. It's a very well composed photograph, as what used to be once I did a professional photography for a couple of years. And that's a hard shot to get, the way they did that, to have everything in the background.
It really is nice.
Yeah, it's a really well done shot. I really like it, and I like the classic fonts he used there. What do I want to use? Like a Viking type of font in the back for the headlines. So very nice, nicely done. So thanks a lot, Greg. Greatly appreciate the artwork. For those of you who would like to compete for the title of the weekly artist, hey, we always have it open. You can just go to the website, go to wppluginsaToZ.com/artwork to submit your artwork to the show, and who knows, it might get chosen. The amount we have right now, there's a very good chance of it getting chosen. Eventually, we'll have so much art, there'll be a lot of disappointed artists, and we'll get into critiquing all the other artwork that we didn't choose. That'll be fun.
That could be fun.
Yeah, that'll be loads of fun. I really look forward to that day actually occurring. But in the meantime, thanks a lot. And for the artists that do support us, keep supporting us. We really greatly appreciate it. And what that does is each and every week we change out the artwork of our show so that people see a new piece of art every week with our show. And if you want to see all the artwork that's been done, just go to wppluginsaToZ.com/artwork to see all the artwork that's there. There's a link there that'll take you to the page where all the art has been submitted. All right. And we do like to talk about those that support us with their treasure. And this week, we do have ourselves an executive producer this week. We got a donation from Bill at $75, and he had this to say: hey, John, thanks so much for your help, both on our call and over the years. Yeah, he called me up, or I called him and talked to him. He was asking some questions about plugins to use, and he's been listening to the show since back when I had markets, somewhere around, what did he say, 2014 or something. He started listening to the show, and it comes and goes. But thanks a lot, Bill. I greatly appreciate your support of the show. And for those of you that's an executive producer credit, your note can be anything you want it to say. Not too long. We don't really want the The Art of War.
No novellas.
No novellas, but a reasonable length note with links if you want anything like that. And it is an executive producer credit. You can say I'm now an executive producer of the WP Plugins A to Z show. Go put that in your credit somewhere. Let's see what it's worth. Who knows? It could be worth a lot.
I've
Never
heard
know.
that any executive producer credit can actually help you a lot.
Yeah, makes you executive producer of the show, and we will vouch for you. So it's all good. So if you'd like to donate $50 and more, just go to wppluginsa2z.com/donate. Take you direct to the donation page on the show. And we do like to thank those that come in under $50, which always stays anonymous. And we have a couple of those that come in on a monthly basis and on a weekly basis here and there, a few bucks, 5 here, 10 there. It's always helpful. Doesn't put any money in our pockets, but it does make us feel like someone actually appreciates all the work that goes into this show. So thank you much, everyone out there. We greatly appreciate it. And the final bit is time. For those that have time on their hands and would like to donate some time, we have things that need to be done on the website. Maybe, push out a little bit of marketing on the website, push out the show, tell folks about it. Get out there and just let them know that WP Plugins A to Z has been out here for 12 years now. 500 episodes plus, putting out weekly content for everyone, talking about some of the latest, greatest plugins, new plugins that nobody's even found yet. That's one of our big things is we talk a lot about new plugins on the show, some that haven't even
To mention, we bring some pretty awesome news.
And some great news. So those are the ways you can help the show, folks, and we greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get down to it then, the part that everyone shows up to the show for, and that is Into the Depths of Plugin Depravity. All right, we do have a ClassicPress section because, I felt like ClassicPress was going to do something, and unfortunately, I bet on the wrong horse there. But I'm willing to bet over the years they will become better and better and actually get quite good. I look forward to seeing them, and we're going to keep them here and talk about stuff when it comes to us. If you happen to be a ClassicPress listener, come on in, send us some content, let us know what's happening in the ClassicPress world, and we'll try to bring it as we find it. With that, though, we're going to get right into WordPress plugins, and the first one I have for you out the gate here is called WP VR 360 Panorama and Virtual Tour Builder for WordPress.
That's a long name.
Yeah, well, the reason I've got these plugins here is I had someone asking me about 3D display plugins, and so I went and looked, and I was looking at a few of them, and I found this one. I thought, if you want a 3D picture, and this is for 3D pictures only, and using images only for virtual tour, and you see those a lot on you see them a lot on real estate websites and other places. But if you've got something that you can, a camera, and I think you can get 3D type pictures, the 360 pictures with your iPhone or something, you could put this plug in, upload the pictures, and then it turns it into a 3D tour for you, which is pretty nice.
Cool.
Not 3D, a 360 degree tour. That's all the way around, up and down for whatever the image covers. And this is a really cool display plugin for displaying that. And they do have a premium version of it, which allows you to expand it out a bit further. I thought it was an interesting one to bring to folks for anyone that's doing that or considering doing that. You might want to go check this one out. It's the WP VR 360 Panorama and Virtual Tour Builder for WordPress. And I give it a 4 Dragon rating.
And the first one I have up, sorry, I pressed the, I actually didn't press the button, the cat did, he ran across my keyboard. There we go. First one I have up is Cubecolour new plugins. I know we've covered this before, but I wanted to bring it back. They haven't really changed much, but they're keeping it up very nicely, and I really love this plugin. It's a plugin that's designed to if I recall, this is how plugins were set up originally, where they have new, featured, popular, recommended, favorites, and then beta testing all as tabs.
Yeah.
So this is a plug and play. You plug it in, then you can go to your plugins, and as soon as you hit your Add New button, you'll get this little tab set up, and you can look through all the new plugins, or you can go to any of the other tabs and have them all separated. It's really awesome. Honestly, this is part of the way that we manage to keep on top of the newest plugins because we actually get the newest ones.
I don't use that.
Oh, you don't? I sure do. I love it.
I just go to plugins browse new at WordPress.org. You know.
Oh, okay. That works too.
This used to be the way I used to log into my website and go to the new ones there because it listed them a little more efficiently. But yeah, this is I don't recall if you've recovered this plugin. I don't recall it, but yeah, it's kind of a useful one if you're building out a new website and you just want to experiment with some things or find some stuff that's interesting. Yeah, they used to do that. They used to go new, featured, popular, recommended, favorites. The beta testing, I don't remember that ever being in there, but I didn't even know plugins were listed as beta testing in WordPress.
They have beta testing plugins, which I really love the fact that you can just go straight to beta testing with this plugin.
Yeah, that's kind of useful. I kind of like that plugin, and that'll be something to experiment with. So if you're a plugin aficionado and you like to dig into plugins, this could be a fun tool for you on your dev or testing site. Don't put it on your live site. I was going to say, don't put it on your live site.
No. I rate this at 5 dragons.
Alrighty then. Cool. All right, next one I have up for you is another 3D image and viewer plugin. It's the Panorama Viewer 360. I keep wanting to call it 3D. 360 degree image and video viewer. The difference in this one is that this one here is for 360 degree videos. Also, it's a player.
Oh, cool.
It's a player for the 360 degree videos. And let's pop to the live demo real quick because this one here, we just got to look at how it works with an actual video, because the video itself, it plays. You get a video playing in a loop, and this one here allows you to scroll in and out on the videos, so which is kind of a useful feature, and then upwards, downwards, and then all around, and it's really kind of sensitive. But you have to have, of course, had a 3D or a 360 degree camera to take the videos to begin with. So I thought this was
cool.
I thought this was a good one for people because the player is going to be a very important part of what you're going to do once you get the videos. You need something to display them and play them correctly, and then this allows you to insert it in your site with a shortcode. So all in all, it's really good. It supposedly plays files such as PNGs, JPEGs, MP4s, and so on. And you can embed it anywhere on your site and even into your WooCommerce product pages. So could be something interesting depending on what you're doing and what you've got going on. At any rate, something to go check out. It's the Panorama Viewer 360 degree image and video player, and I gave it a 4 dragon rating.
Next one I have up is CodeArt Units Converter. So this is a really easy peasy plugin. It's designed for those out there who need this kind of converter on their site. You use a shortcode, which is offered in the settings on the left-hand side once you activate the plugin. And you can present calculators or converters for weight, speed, and area. The converter charts are very simple, but they're very good. I could see this being very useful on like a site that offers plans for building or something like that. Totally, it's a totally free plugin, and I rate it at 5 dragons.
Cool. Lots of uses for that one. All right, the final one I have for you today is your daily Bible verse. This one's kind of an interesting one, if you want to display Bible verses on your website. And one of the cool features I found with it was once you get it set up, it's just a widget you insert on your site, and then you choose whether to display text or text and images or images only, with the Bible verse that it chooses for the day for you. And it's just random. They've got 31,000 Bible verses in their database that they use for you. And they've curated them all up, and you just install it, activate it, and boom, you start inserting Bible verses onto your site. I thought it was a pretty cool little tool, and it can show you all kinds of really interesting stuff. So at any rate, I give it 5 dragons. It is the daily Bible verse. Yeah, this show's been going 100% today.
You know what? At least it's working. Knock on wood. So the last one I have is Automatic Tooltips. This is an awesome little plugin. It's designed to have little tooltips throughout your posts or pages. You can use these tooltips to create definitions of words, explain various things on the go, so to speak, so you don't have to add the definitions into the article itself. Like if you have a how-to page on how to do something, every time that you put something down, like go to the menu on the left, you can actually put a little tooltip and have it point to the menu on the left that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Once activated, you go into the settings on the left-hand side, and you can add your tooltips one by one. You have the option to make it so that your tooltips are only able to affect particular categories, only posts or pages, or all of them. This way, if you have a category that is how-to, you can make it so that only that category will get these tooltips, thus saving the rest of your site from the little pop-up. It's very useful, and I really like the design.
Cool.
I rate it at 5 dragons.
Sounds like something to check out.
All 5s today.
Set up for you anyway.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go talk about...
It's a contest. WordPress plugins from A to Z.
Absolutely, our contests. Our contests are powered by the Simple Giveaways plugin. Go check them out. Link is in the show notes. Current contest we have for you is a single lifetime domain license with interactive geomaps. This is a $49 value, $50 valued plugin. It's a really cool plugin. We reviewed this a few episodes back. I did an interview with Carlos. It was really kind of a great interview. You'll want to go check out those 2 shows for more details on this plugin. But on the whole, it's a really good plugin for helping you set up unique, simple maps. You can't use them for high definition maps or for other things, but it's a really great mapping system. Say you're a world hiker and you want to hike certain trails and whatnot, and you just want to put, I started here, I went here, and I went here and here, things like that across the maps, or locations. If you got locations in major cities, you can set pop-ups on there that can link then to, say, Google Maps for more detailed information. There's a lot of things you can do with these maps, and it is a really cool plugin, and I really do recommend you check it out. Contest runs from now till April 6th. And the winner will be announced on the April 7th show. So go enter the contest and get yourself the license for this. Contest is open for everybody.
I really, really like this plugin. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot you can do with it.
The more you play with it, the more you realize there's so much you can do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. I only played with it for about a half an hour or so, and since I don't actually need it for anything right now, I just got the good gist of how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got to cover up a few things before we go into the Q&A segment. First off, plugins I covered in this show here were the WP-VR 360 Panorama and Virtual Tour Builder for WordPress, which I gave a 4 to. The Panorama Viewer 360-degree image and video viewer, which I gave a 4 to. And the Daily Bible Verse, which I gave a 5 to.
And I covered Cubecolour new plugins, which I rated at 5. CodeArt Units Converter, which I rated at 5. And Automatic Tooltips, which I also rated at 5.
Very good. Couple of quick reminders and Some promos. There will be a meetup. We don't note say no meetup plan, but there will be one sometime towards the end of June. More details to follow as soon as I get that fully organized. If you would like to be on an interview show, if you're a developer or you know a developer or you're into WordPress and you just want to talk some WordPress stuff, you can reach out to me for an interview show. Just go to wppluginzz.com/interview to book a time slot. I have specific time slots available for interviews, and they're set aside specifically for that. If nobody books interviews, I do something else at the time, but I want to make it so it's easy as possible. You just look at it, see what works with your schedule, and it sets up the time in your time zone for the time zones I've set up. At any rate, it's really straightforward. If you've got plugin suggestions, ideas, something you want to have reviewed, or you would like to submit a plugin that you are developing, you can do that by going to wppluginzz.com/submit plugin review. All right, enough of all that. It is time for...
It's question and answer time.
With Amber.
Before I get started today, I wanted to remind everyone out there that if anybody out there has any questions you would like to have asked here on the show, send them in to me at amber@wppro.ca, and we will get them up here, and we'll see if we can stump my dad. First question is, what is a shared host package?
Okay, that's straightforward. All right, shared host package is pretty much every hosting that everyone has out there is a shared hosting package. What that means is you're not alone on a server.
Okay.
It means you're sharing that server with anywhere from, if you go with johnoverall.com hosting, less than 100 other websites, to if you go to someone like Bluehost, you could have thousands and thousands of websites on the same server. And shared hosting is the standard out there on the internet. That's what makes hosting affordable to people, because servers are not inexpensive. They cost a fair chunk of money each month to have and manage and run a server. Because not only do you got to lease the server from a data center, but then you have to lease the software that runs the server. Then you've got to either do it yourself and never sleep, or have a support team that helps you manage your servers for issues and other things that come up with the servers. So you got to pay all this money out. So what the shared hosting does is it allows the cost of that to be shared across multiple websites and clients, and also for small hosting companies or even large hosting companies to make a small profit out of the process of doing that. So, and give less headache to the people. So that's what a shared host package is, and that is the standard. If you want to not share a shared host, you got to go to your own server. And a VPN, they claim a VPN to be not shared, but a VPN is shared, because a VPN is a server that's been sliced into chunks. And each person gets a specific allocation of the memory and hard drive space on that server. So,
Okay, when I first heard shared host package, I was thinking along lines of like time-shared vacation home kind of idea. So
no, this
now
is,
that I understand what a shared host package is, second question is null and void.
Oh, okay. How does shared host packages work, and would you recommend these to anyone? Is there a specific reason for doing a shared host package? Well, yeah. I guess the second question is null and void, because it is the standard of the internet.
Well, because like I said, I was thinking more along the lines of like time-shared vacation home style.
That'd be an awful.
I don't know. Do they have that?
What's that? Time-shared server space? Yeah, somehow I don't think that would work, because everybody's websites need to be online all the time. See, one of the best ways I can describe it, I can describe a shared hosting package, is an apartment building. An apartment building is one server, and every apartment is each person's website. and somebody built the apartment building, set it up, manages and maintains the building, the hallways, the grounds on the outside, etc. And then they rent that space inside each apartment to everyone. And inside each
That is
apartment,
a really good way to explain it.
and inside each apartment, each person is responsible for their own security to their front door of their apartment. Now, someone might break into the building, but they might not be able to break into all the individual apartments. You know,
Okay.
so you can think of a shared server as a giant apartment building. It literally translates out just that well. So
Hey, what do you know? We turned my second question into a decent thing.
yeah, there you go. Turn it into something useful.
Yep. Okay, so my last question, I'll read it out for you.
Okay.
How do you tell if it is your server, site, or internet acting up when you are unable to load up a site?
All right. This is a fun question. So we will come back to that one after our girl takes us on out. So if you're listening on the regular podcast, you want to hear the answer to that great question, got to tune in to the YouTube channel. All right. Let's go out of here.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsaToZ.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsaToZ.com/donate and set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsaToZ.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsAtoZ. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly, john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
I just love that.
Emily said something interesting here.
Yes, I know. I was going to catch that in a moment.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. Yeah, Hemdy and my host recently tried to get me to upgrade to non-shared due to resource usage, but it turned out this was because I was being targeted by hackers, put up a firewall and other steps, and everything is good. There's a good example of the apartment analogy.
Yep.
You know, protect your own stuff. All right. Question was, how do you tell if it's your server, site, or internet acting up when you're unable to load up a site? Well, one of the best ways, first off, do you want to know if it's the internet acting up, is you just go to Google. And then you can also, I can't remember, there's a website that says, I think it's something, am I online or something? Is my site online? You can search up. There's a couple of monitoring stations that have a website that monitors, and you can go to their site, put in a URL, but if you go to their site, obviously it's not your internet. But they'll tell you if it's the server or the internet that's having problems to get to that site, because they do checks out there on the web. And but that's it. That's really the only things you can do, because if you can't get to your own website or from your computer, but you can get to other internet, well, you know it's not your internet acting up, and you know it's either the server or your website that's having problems. And then comes the problem of, have you been blocked by that server for some reason? Did you trigger an alert on that server? It happens to my clients regularly. They fail logins getting into their site or their control panel, and they're like, I can't see my website, it's down. And I go, yeah, okay. Nothing wrong with the server. Your website is fine. Send me your IP address, and I'll see if it's in the firewall. And 99.9% of the time, it's they lock themselves out because of a simple mistake. And that's what happens. And so it's just a matter of running some checks. Now, again, internet, if you can get to any of the other major providers out there who are up about 99.99% of the time, such as, Google and Amazon and whatnot, they go down. We've seen it. We've seen it a couple of years ago. In the last couple of years, we've seen all the big boys go down for anywhere from half an hour to several hours. So nobody's immune to that. But if you can get to them and they're active, that's good. But if you can't get to any of those websites, well, then it might be your local internet access. Then what you do is you log on to your telephone and use your telephone not in Wi-Fi mode with your data and see if you can get to the internet. That'll tell you if the internet's down or not. So
I was actually thinking of a specific experience I had once.
Okay.
I was able to get to the site on my phone, but I wasn't able to get to it on the computer.
Okay. Was your phone in data mode?
No.
Okay, so your phone was on the same Wi-Fi as your computer.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that would be a computer issue. I would check to see if the computer issue was the computer able to get to any other websites.
Yep, it had no problem with other websites. It was a weird thing. It lasted for about a day, and then the next day it was fine. I don't even remember if I restarted my computer. It was just one of those oddities before I got into really learning everything happened learning. It's just an odd thing that happened, so I just kind of didn't bother with it. I went back to it the next day, and it was fine.
That is an odd thing. I would suspect the computer. Because if the phone was using the Wi-Fi, because everybody in your house that uses your router, be they on Wi-Fi or hardwired, uses the same IP address to get to the internet. And if one device can't get to a website, but another device which is on the same network can get to the website, then it's going to be that one device that can't get to the website is having some problem. If other devices using that network can't get to the website, then it's most likely a problem with the IP address, especially if you can flip your phone from data or from Wi-Fi to data, and you can get to the website, because once you flip to data, it gets a whole new IP address. And if it can get to it, then you know it's your IP address is being blocked. But if you flip to the Wi-Fi on or flip to the data on your phone, and you still can't get to the website, that usually indicative that the website is having some issues, or the server's having some issues, or the internet in between here and there is having issues. I haven't seen it in quite some time, and pound on all the wood I can, because I don't like to scare things up. It's been a few years, but there used to be times where the internet routing would break.
Yeah, Hemdian actually said something. It might have been this. He said, once had an issue where I couldn't access my site from home, but could from work. Traced the route and found a blocking server partway along the route. Talked to my ISP, but they didn't own it.
Yeah.
Eventually found a forum where the server's owners hung out and posted there. Problem fixed in a week.
Yeah, that routing problem. I haven't seen routing problems in a long time. You got to remember, your data, to get to my servers, which are located in, I can't remember what state. I have servers in the States and I have servers in Canada. To get to my servers, sometimes that routing will take them halfway across the globe before they come back to the server. And sometimes that routing it'll take a different route. That's the joys of the internet, is it takes the shortest, fastest route that's available when it hits a router. I mean, it's interesting to do a route check on a data packet to a specific server and see all the different pings it does for the routes. The other thing that happens as soon as it hits the data center, and I've seen this also in the data centers, also knock on wood, is that at the very end, the data hits the data center, and then it hits a router in the data center that's got to route it to one of the 10,000 servers in the data center. And I've seen bad routers in the data center, and by doing ping checks, routing checks, and because it'll show you where the data fails in the route. So that's basically what it boils down to. There's a lot of things to do with tracking and serving, and fortunately we've gotten complacent in about the last 3 to 5 years. We've gotten really complacent because the internet has gotten really, really stable.
Yeah, it really has.
And because it used to, anyone who doesn't remember, go back 10, 15, let's go back to 2005, or God, heaven forbid, go back to 2000.
Pick up the phone at the wrong time. I still remember that sound.
Yeah, hollering at me by breaking my connection when I'm downloading 10,000 songs from Napster. But yeah, it's just it's interesting. But we've gotten pretty stable, and we take it for granted now, and that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, MDN's right. Problems are usually at one end or the other, but not always. Sometimes they're in the middle.
Sometimes they're just strange, like that one experience I had.
Yeah. All right.
Kind of wishing I'd known more and actually looked into it back then, so I knew what happened.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to it. It's an interesting world following the internet and digging in, and it really hasn't changed now. It's just that people have gotten more complacent and lazy about it because it's become so stable that they don't think about that issue anymore.
Well, it's like the amount of people that drive cars but have no idea how to change the oil.
Yeah. I saw a great meme about that. If you think you're smart, man, an owner's manual of a 1950s car used to tell you how to adjust your valves. Now they tell you not to drink the contents of the battery because it's hazardous. That tells you the state of our intelligence.
Or the state of our law system.
Well, there's that problem too. Since they got to put warnings on coffee cups that says warning content is hot.
Oh, life is what it is.
Yep, it is what it is. All right, well, on that happy note, I think we'll call it a show, and let's have a little music to carry us on out of here. Bravo.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun.
Alrighty, folks. That's all we've got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Adios.